Good morning everyone, and welcome to my laboratory. So where to begin? Well, this is where we calibrate the output power. The voltage on this light bulb is sitting right now at 81 volts AC. I control that here. The power is read here. Power meter. I vary the bulbs, of course. Over this 200 watt bulb. I'm recalibrated it yesterday. Over here we've got a 60 watt bulb sitting at 70 volts RMS. That's the output voltage on the bulb coming out of the secondary coil, which is in series with 670 nanofarads approximately capacitance, and that's driven by this ZVS driver on the primary coil there. Now we're using these equations for resonance, and here's the main equation here. The frequency is 1 over 2 pi radical LC, and the LC circuits, there's series LC, which is on what I'm using here on the output, and parallel LC we have used a number of times. So this work follows on work that I've done in the past using Tesla coils. I've got dozens of Tesla coils, I believe. I've worked with those through the years, going back to when I was a teenager. Now I'm working with little tighter coupled coils here using ferrite cores. Got a gap in the core here, as you can see with that cardstock, and that does actually improve the efficiency with this setup. I measure the temperature of the bulb and do all sorts of things to make sure that my output power calibrations are correct. Could still be refined. This is another coil that I've used in the past with good effect, and having a lot of fun with this simple system. I just want to show you, this is my notebook, and the output power over the input power, that ratio is shown here. Notice 116% is what I achieved recently, was that yesterday, and this morning with a different bulb at lower voltage I get 111%. So I'm able to tune this 114%, 112%, and this goes back for weeks. Different measurements and efforts going way back. So I'm happy that I'm up to 116%. That is pretty solid. It's plus or minus a few percent, but it's well above 100%, and so that's good news. I'm not claiming anything wild yet. The inductance and the capacitance, by the way, I measure using this meter here. I plug values in, and I can calculate what the resonant frequency will be for my LC circuit. Again, this is the one I'm using on the output. Notice the frequency here is 32.2 kilohertz. And it's about what I expect, but not quite what I expect from the measured capacitance and inductance. So yeah, a few variations, but tuning in on matching the resonance is one of the goals of this research, and also the work I did with air coils, Tesla coils, through the years. So wow, lots of steps. I think that with that brief introduction, I'll leave it at that. I do have a question. What should I do now? Should I refine the input and output power measurements and prove that P out over Pn is greater than 1? Or should I move on to increasing P out over Pn, even though my measurements are not 100% refined and checked yet? That I'm still debating what to do. There's lots of things we could talk about. We could talk about scriptures, Book of Revelation, Book of Mormon, one of my favorite books, of course, and just lots we could talk about, but if you'll excuse me, I think that I will focus mainly on energy at this time, because that is one of my passions, and I do feel a calling to do this work to benefit humanity. And so I wish you well, and for now, with that brief introduction, I want to get up to 160%, and then I'll probably be back. I may speak before then. That we'll see. For now, I wish you fond farewell and happy researching. Cheers.